Hi, welcome to Mini Movies. Today I'm going to explain an American satirical drama film called The Show. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. At a live reality TV show in Seattle called Married to a Millionaire, a rejected bride, Jessie, shoots the millionaire groom. She then takes aim at the bride he chose, but the show's host Adam throws himself in front of her, saving her life. In her desperation, the jilted bride places the gun in her mouth, pulls the trigger, and dies. Adam is then hailed as a hero for saving the bride's life. The following day on the same channel's morning show, Adam, still stunned from the previous day's events, insists that he's not a hero and rants that the horrific outcome is his fault, the fault of the network, and of those who indulged in such entertainment. His speech pushes him nearly to the brink of being fired, but Adam's sister Karina, who is a pediatric oncology nurse in a local hospital, sees the whole thing differently. Being comforted by Karina, Adam believes in himself and waits patiently to get fired. Then we see a janitor named Mason, who is working in the studio offices. He has a wife, a daughter, and a disabled son. After requesting more hours so as to qualify for medical benefits, he loses his job, worsening his struggle to make ends meet. Upon learning of his dismissal and that their mortgage payments are in deficit, Mason's wife, Rebecca, tells him that if they lose their home, she'll have no choice but to leave him and take the children. He doesn't want that to happen and promises Rebecca to find more work. After a few days of waiting, Adam is summoned to a meeting of the network executives, headed by Lana, the president of programming. At the meeting, they discuss many things, and Adam is shocked to find that instead of being fired, he's asked to host a new show, during which contestants will commit suicide in a live broadcast. Firmly against promoting death, he refuses the offer and walks out. After arriving home, he turns on the TV and finds his old show playing. To take a break from all those bad things in his mind, Adam goes out for a run, where he sees a girl exercising with a gymnastics ribbon. Something strikes in his mind, and he goes back to Lana the next day. He decides to accept the offer, but only on the condition that his platform is used to encourage viewers to appreciate life, as he feels a higher purpose is involved. His producer, Sylvia, doesn't wish to be part of the show in any form, but under contract, she has to do what the channel demands. Since there's no other option for her, Sylvia arranges all the required things for the show, and a cool stage for the new live suicide show begins to take shape. The new show has been titled This Is Your Death, and as the first episode opens, Adam proclaims his idealistic principles, telling the audience that his intention is to promote the appreciation of life, and that one person's death can improve the life of another. To make things worse, he also acts on his own to raise donations for the first suicide, by promising that the program will also donate $100,000 to the contestant. His first contestant is a battered wife, Sarah, who tells in her short clip that her husband bullied her for years and that she hopes to give her daughter a better life through her death. As the clip ends, everyone watching the show holds their breath and fixes their eyes on the stage. She then gets into a bathtub and drowns herself, but after a few minutes, she gets up and everyone thinks that she's changed her mind. But to their surprise, Sarah electrocutes herself in the bathtub after revealing on stage that she murdered her abusive husband. The death of Sarah is shocking, and some find it absurd and can't stand it. But the live show is a hit. The program also collects $300,000. After that, Adam and Sylvia got closer and spent a night together in his house. Adam's sister Karina is tending to her patient Elliot when she sees Adam's show on Elliot's TV. She's disgusted by such a concept and rushes to Adam's house to talk to him. But after seeing Sylvia there, she leaves soon after saying that she doesn't like their show. But Adam is crazy about the show and remains unmoved. As the show grows in popularity, Adam starts to lose his idealistic views and becomes more concerned with ratings and sensationalism. The show climbs to the top 3 and everyone is happy and becomes big fans of Adam for bringing the kind of attention and success to the show. While all this happens, the second episode comes, where Adam is once again the star of the show. And surprisingly, the rules have changed this time. In order to win the $250,000 prize, 3 participants must compete for votes by showing fancy deaths. The audience remains indifferent to the death competition, watching coldly at the suicide in front of them. Episode by episode, the suicide show successfully hits the #1 spot. All these successes make Adam rich and famous. He buys a large new house and also writes a check for Karina to settle her debt, but she rejects it because the money doesn't feel right to her. Adam is angry with her, but leaves the decision up to her. One day on the show, Adam speaks about Karina's thoughts on the show. Irritated by the criticism of Adam and the audience, Karina switches off the TV and cries. Sylvia calls to make sure she's okay, and after speaking with her, goes back to her show. As the show is running, a woman is trying to commit suicide inside her car by releasing some kind of gas. Due to the arrangements, it's become hard for the people to see it, and it also takes longer than expected. The audience becomes bored without seeing things in detail, and the channel notices that, and the ratings are going down. To solve the issue, the crew decides to fake the death for the audience and let her die off stage. When she partially revives and frantically tries to escape the car, Adam forces her back inside, unaware that the camera inside the car is still filming. Sylvia witnesses the murder and makes a copy of the footage and deletes the original file. People start doubting the program, and word spreads like wildfire about the woman's death. The FBI also gives a visit to the station, inquiring about the death. Sylvia is expecting Adam to change after the incident, but to her surprise, Adam asks aggressively if she deleted the record. Due to fear and to be safe, she lies to him, saying that she's destroyed every single trace of the night. Meanwhile, Karina feels that Adam is losing his way and tries to confront him, but he only distances himself from her. After their parents' death years earlier, Adam had supported Karina through her depression, drug addiction, and recovery. Now experiencing a breakdown over the loss of his support and feeling judged because of their connection, she relapses and is caught looting drugs from the hospital by one of her colleagues. The rating of the show continues to decrease with each episode, suggesting that the death show is starting to bore people. Adam then proposes an idea to conduct an audition for the season finale and increases the prize money to $1 million. Lana says yes to the proposal, and the huge prize money attracts thousands of people to compete in the show. Mason auditions for the season finale of This Is Your Death, where one of the 3 chosen contestants will earn $1 million. After Mason got fired from his job, he's been looking for a new job, but every time he gets rejected because of his age. He even tried to sell his car, but no one came to buy it. So when he saw the audition poster, not thinking much, he decided to sign up. To hide it from the family, Mason tells them that he's gotten a wonderful new job and must go take a training course when he's actually headed to the studio to be the 3rd suicide scheduled. The family doesn't doubt him, and they're happy for the good things happening in his life. The final episode is set to be aired, and the audience no longer pities the dead or feels sympathy for the contestants. In their eyes, only the excitement of a thrilling death can be seen. After the first suicide by Harikari, Adam is horrified to see that Karina is set to be the 2nd contestant. Karina was able to be on the list because of help from Sylvia. Sylvia then instructs the screen to play Karina's short clip, distraught over the distance between them. It's her last attempt to get through to him and make him end his involvement in the show and make others see the awful reality of it. She's lying on a wheeled stretcher, holding a syringe to her arm. Adam races to stop her, but arrives at her side only to have her die in his arms. He follows as her body is taken away and collapses sobbing on the street outside the studio. Lana finds Sylvia responsible for the act and fires her immediately. The programmer takes over Sylvia's spot and gets the participants to continue. Then comes poor Mason, the final contestant, wired with explosives and gripping a detonator button. As part of the game, a small clip about Mason is played. He is, of course, afraid of dying, but he's still prepared to die like the others. Before pressing the button, for a moment, he closes his eyes and thinks of his loving family. Everything changes at that moment, and he begins to cry and refuses to press the button. Hearing about his life story, the audience also changes their perspective and begins to cheer as Mason leaves the stage to go home. As Sylvia is leaving the building, she hands a copy of the videotape to the FBI, which she kept of the woman's death. The FBI agents then take him away as he yells wildly to the crowd off the cameras.